Hello everyone. Today I will share to you my learning insight about teaching profession. The elements of a profession. Initial profession education is the training ground that would help the teacher to enhance their skills, capabilities, and potentials. Next is the accreditation university programs. It's a process of validation in which colleges, universities, and other institutions of higher learning are evaluated. Next is skills development. It is important because your skills determine your ability to execute plans with success. Example, imagine a carpenter trying to build a house. In goal achievement, your skills are your tools. Next one is certification and licensing. As a teacher, you need to have a certification and licensing. Then next is professional development. Refers to instructors developing and improving their skills to better meet the needs of their student. The next one is professional organization societies, referred to as a professional association or exist to advance a particular profession, support the interests of people working in that profession. The next one is the code of ethics. As a role models, teachers must follow a professional code of ethics. This ensures that students receive a fair, honest, and uncompromising education. The last one is organizational certification. Respect to any person, or it is a formal legal document. So let's proceed to Philippine educational system. So during pre-Spanish, their education is informal. In Spanish, education is formal and teaching of Christianity. So ang ilang teacher ani nga time kay ang mga priests. The next one is the Commonwealth. Their education is formal. And you have their Japanese period. So they love for work and dignity for labor. Then New Society, the Millennium Development Goals. Then the present education, or we call that nowadays a trifocalization, which are the Deep Ed, CHED, and the TESDA. So Deep Ed belong to K to 12 and the CHED is mga colleges. So sa TESDA, you have there the training and skills. So under the Republic Act number 9155 as of 2001 is the CHED. Republic Act number 7722 is under sa CHED gihapon. Then Republic Act number 7796 is under sa TESDA. So qualifications for the LET examination for teachers. So you have there the first one is naturalization. So dapat dinhi ka nagpuyo sa Pilipinas. So the second one is reciprocity. If kuan ka pananglitan foreigner, kinahanglan na ay student exchange nga makapamatuod nga naa ka diri sa Philippines nga nagpuyo, which is maka-benefit pod sa laing country. So ang age pod, alita sa age, dili pwede siya mo below og 18. Dapat 18 above, pwede ka mo take sa let examination. So, of course, with good moral character, nga wala ka mag-involve og any case or any criminal case, then the fifth one is the bachelor's degree holder. So, dapat naa ka anang 5 para ma-qualify ka mo take sa let examination. So, enhancing professional practice, a framework for teaching. So, you have there the domain 1, planning and preparation. So, when you teach your students, know your objectives. By knowing your objective, you can see if it is effective ba ang imong strategy sa pag-teach nila. Then the domain 2 is the classroom environment. So expectation for keeping students safe. So of course, mas imo jung kuanon nga mas safety ang imuhang estudyante. So you have there the domain 3, instruction. So when you teach, dapat clear ang instruction ang imong ihatag sa imong estudyante para iwas confuse or para madali, you can give example for them para maisi na lang nila nga ma-understand. So, the next one, we have the domain 4, professional responsibilities. So, as a teacher, you should do your responsibilities. Then, making attendance records, field trip logs, it should be organized para if ever na ay reklamo sa students or baka sa ilang parents na kay evidence nga ipakita. So, the teaching profession. So, teaching as a vocation. It comes from the Latin word vocare, which means to call. So, vocation, teachers have a love and passion for their work in imparting knowledge to their students. If there is a call, there must be a caller and someone who is called. So, mauna siya ang vocation. The next one is teaching as a mission. It comes from the Latin word missio, which is to send. So, if you are doing it only because you are paid for it, it's a job. If you are doing it only for the pay but also for service, it's a mission. So, the next one is teaching as a profession. For us to be able to give more service, which is the end goal of a profession, so continuing professional education is a must. So you are willing to go through a long period of preparation and a continuing professional development. Then, teachers' competencies. So, content, know your content on what to teach to your students. The next one is the teaching aids, the instructional materials you would use in imparting knowledge to your students. Then, the curriculum transactions. When you teach, there should be an interaction between student and the teacher. Classroom interaction, student to learning material, and student surroundings. Let's proceed to the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. So you have there the 7 domain of PPST. The first one is the content, knowledge, and pedagogy. So, know your content. The next one is learning environment for keeping the students safe. Then, diversity of learners. So, as a teacher, expected ka nga ang imuhang tudloan nga mga estudyante kay diversity. So, lain-lain. Then, the next one is curriculum and planning. Dapat planado. The next one is the assessment and reporting. And the community linkages and professional engagements. So, diri na ang involved ang community and school relations. Then, school community partnerships. So, the last one is the personal growth and professional development. Emphasizes the ideal that teachers value a high personal regard, concern for professional development, and continuous improvement as teachers. Four career levels of a teacher. So, beginning. So, kining dapita, dari pa sila nag-adjust and more on sa teacher ani kay nag-teach sa private. So, next is profession teacher, 2 to 3 years. So, kani sila nga teacher kay independent na ni sila. So, the next one is highly profession, 4 to 5 years. So, diring dapita, in-depth ang ilahang learning. And lastly is the distinguished, then 6 to 10 years. Then dirin dapita is master na kay sila mo teach ani. The Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. Article 11, the teacher as a person. Section 1, highest obligation or dignity. So, a teacher shall live with dignity in all places at all times. Section 2, place premium or self-discipline. A teacher shall place premium upon self-respect and self-disciplines as the principles of personal behavior in all relationship with others. Section 3. Role model worthy of emulation. A teacher should know how to value his or her students and all people, for she or he is a role model. Section 4. Recognize God as guide of his own. A teacher shall always recognize Almighty God because without Him we are nothing. The levels of schooling in the Asian. So here are the country the members of the Asian. So you have there the Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, Darussalam. Level schooling in the Philippines. So you have there the level 1 elementary education 6 to 7 years, then the level 2 secondary education, then the level 3 is tertiary 4 to 5 years. Teachers and the teaching profession beyond the Asian. So you have there the education in China, the most populous country in the world. Class ranges 40 to 60 students. Must pass one of the two versions of the National University entrance examination. Education in Japan. free education and compulsory for children 6 to 15 years old. So in Japan, teaching methods are usually lecture. Let's proceed to changing global landscape in teaching and learning. New learning environment. So you have there the learner-centered, new spaces and borderless, enhanced opportunity for creativity and innovations. Then use of ICT. So kani nga time sa atoa karon more on technology ang atoang gamit. So next is the new learning content. Learning content based on what students can actually learn. So during dapita as a teacher dili lang ka mo tabi kay tabi lang diha. Dapat imuha sang i-consider if unsa ang much better way para mas easy ang learning sa students. As a teacher, ikay mo adjust. New process learning. So you have there the face-to-face, distance learning, blended modalities, experiential and lifelong. So mao ni ang ato ang gamit karon ang new process of learning kay due sa ato ang pandemic karon so bawal ang face to face. So mao na mag blended learning ta. Then the next one is new types of learners. So karon nga kuan panahon karon ang mga bata is more on technology kay sila. Dali kay sila maka-cope up kay due sa ato ang high technology karon. Then new types of teachers. So let's proceed to 21st century life and career skills. Flexibility and adaptability. Adapt to change. So as a teacher, you need to adapt. The next is initiative and self-direction. Manage goals and time, work independently, be self-directed learners. Then the next one is social and cross-cultural skills. Interact effectively with others. Then work effectively in diverse teams. So as a teacher, kahibaw ka mo halubilo. So the next one is the leadership and responsibility. So guide and lead others. Be responsible to others. So dapat as a teacher naa ka ani kaybaw ka mo halubilo then responsible ka sa imong gipang buhat. Then the productivity and accountability. So manage projects then produce results. So let's proceed to the Philippine qualifications framework. So you have there the level 1. So mao ni siya ang makakuha og NC1. So mostly ani kay mao ni sila ang junior high school grade 10. So level 2 so makakuha ni sila og NC2. Then TESDA sa grade 12. So kaning mga skills. Then level 3 so makakuha ni sila og NC3. Then level 4 so diri sila dapita makakuha og NC4. So level 5 so mao na ni ang makakuha ta og diploma. So sa ato nga time nakakuha tag diploma pag graduate na ta og high school. So level 6 bachelor's degree. Level 7 mao na ni ang master's degree. So kaning level 8 mao na ni ang pinaka highest, mao na ni siya ang doctoral degree. So let's proceed to philosophies of education. So I tell you a short story. So when God created nature, it is naturalism. Then he made Adam and Eve as a whole. It is humanism. So then they change kay natintal man to sila sa snake. So it is behaviorism. Then they thought that if they eat those fruit, powerful sila same as God. So it is idealism. Then they never change kay ni commit gihapon sila og sins, so it is a perennialism. And the most important thing is they beg for forgiveness. So it is essentialism. Then they solve their problems. So it is instrumentalism. Then it talks reality that is involving senses. So it is realism. And it is their choice man nga to eat that fruit. So it is existentialism. Then it has a purpose, so it is a pragmatism. Then their personal development, it is progressivism. So they made a greater good number, so it is a utilitarianism. Then the last one is involved na ang society. So it is a social reconstructivism. So Ivan Pavlov, known for his work of classical conditioning, and it talks about environment. Ivan Pavlov theory is a learning procedure that involves pairing a stimulus with conditioned response. Next is Skinner or Frederick Skinner. The idea of Skinner is based upon the idea that learning is a function of change in over behavior. So you have there the operant conditioning. Then for weakening is a negative reinforcement. And to strengthen is the positive reinforcement. Next is Bandura or Albert Bandura. Posits that people learn from others via observation, imitation, and modeling. So ang work ni Bandura is nag-involve og social learning, modeling. So you have there the attention, then the retention, reproduction, and motivation. So if ikaw pananglitan ni kanta ka, then naay nitanaw nimo, then na catch ang iyahang attention. So pag uli nila sa ilahang balay, iyang gi practice. So that's we call retention. Then ang iyaha pag yung gi practice og maayo, that's we call reproduction. Then iyahang gi share, so that is motivation. So the next one is Thorndike or Edward Thorndike. Developed the law of effect principle, suggested that responses that produce a satisfying effect in a particular situation become more likely to occur again in that situation. So you have there the connectionism, law of readiness, effectiveness, and law of exercise. So sa readiness, mao ni siya ang diagnostic. Then sa effectiveness, so from the word na gid siya is the result. And lastly is the exercise, so mao ni siya dapita ang review. So that's all for today. I hope you've learned something from me. Goodbye and thank you.